Hey guys, it's Mr. Storro. Today we're going to be drawing some fish. So you need to grab some primary colors, red, blue, and yellow. My suggestion is for you to watch the video first and then pause it if you need to stop. If I'm drawing too fast and you can't keep up, pause it so you don't get stressed out. You should enjoy it. I mean, you should be relaxing and being loose, because if you're loose, you're going to draw well. So remember, watch it first, pause it, and then enjoy doing it. So red, blue, and yellow. You're going to need a pencil to draw with. If you have something to outline with, whether it's a Sharpie, if you want to use a Sharpie, or a black pen, or whatever you have, if you want to outline. Now, you don't necessarily need to outline, but if you decide to, pick a darker color. It could be blue, it could be whatever color you're drawing with. So if I'm making a green fish, maybe I'll outline with a dark green. So there's really no reason to outline solely in black. You can outline in a color. So use what art materials you have available. Paper is everywhere. So I was drawing on envelopes, I've been drawing on paper bags, I've been drawing on newspaper. So you can get some pretty cool drawings on newspaper. So I'm going to show you a couple of those in a couple videos coming forward. But today we're just going to be working with our primaries and doing something really simple and really basic. Okay, so you're going to be able to add your own animals into this. So I'll draw a few and then you can create your own scenes, and I'd like for you to share them with me. So I'm going to do a quick sketch, and then I'm not going to color the whole thing. I'm only going to color a part of it, and then I'm going to put a background color in. But before I put the background color in, you need to make sure that you color everything and then do your background last. I'll point that out again later in the video. Okay, so it should take about 15 to 20 minutes to do this. Like I said, I'm going to draw pretty quick because I want you to be able to pause it and go ahead. So here we go. Let's first thing first, let's make a few fish. Now, fish are really simple shapes. Okay, we're going to make a flattened rainbow, and then we're going to make a little U. Leave the end open, and then you can go ahead and put two lines and make a letter B for a tail. Okay, let's make another fish. Now, we don't want them all going the same direction. Okay, fish can swim anywhere, so maybe this one's at a slight angle, and that's okay. See, leave the bottom open, two little lines, and letter B. Okay, this one's over here. Letter B. Good. Let's make the dorsal fin. They look like M's. Now I'm going to do it 3 times, so it's all the same. You want to pause it? Now would be a good time. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put a small fin in the back. And then I'm going to make the pectoral fin. A little curved line for a gill. Now, I'm going to turn this into a cartoon, so I'm not going to do something super realistic, so I'm going to exaggerate the eyes. So then rather than make a realistic eye, which is about that size, I'm going to make something that's unrealistic, that is that size. Almost looks like a Dr. Seuss fish now. Okay, so those fish are done, so I'm going to give them little tiny lines for mouths. There you go. Now let's go ahead and put another fish over here. We're going to put a shark. So we're going to go ahead and put a curved line like that. It's going to look like half of a football right there. We're going to put a lateral line going right down the middle of the shark. And then we'll put a piece, not all of it, just a piece of the dorsal fin in the back, and then a piece of the pectoral fin on the side. All right, the rest of the shark's off the paper. Okay, so we're going to put his gills. They're right in front of the pectoral fin. They look like parentheses or curved lines. 1, 2, 3. His mouth, we're going to do that in a minute. Now you can do a lot of different things with the mouth for facial expressions. Okay, the eyes and the mouth give you a facial expression. Because it's a cartoon, I'm going to make the eye bigger than normal. So again, shark's eye would probably be about that big, but I'm going to make it that big. Okay, and then I'm going to make kind of like a curved line over here, so then you can see the other eye on the other side of the head. Now I'm going to get rid of that pupil, and I'm going to erase this line right here, that go-through line. Okay, so there's my eyes. Let's draw a couple jellyfish in the corner over here. Now everything is going this way right now, so I'm going to make these jellies going at a diagonal. So I'm going to put one jelly here. Now watch, I'm going to make an arrow, and then I'm going to make another jelly here, and then another one here. Okay, and then a wiggly line here, and a wiggly line there, and then again, and again, and again. Okay, now in the middle, I'm going to make some little tiny tentacles, like that, little squiggly lines. Okay. Now, if you wanted to make some jellyfish that looked like they were further away, all you gotta do is just make them smaller. So it looks like they're in the distance. Okay, but I've seen that's going diagonally like this, and what it does, it makes your eye work through the picture a little bit more. Okay, it's a trick that artists use. Okay, and if you want to put spots on them like SpongeBob's jellyfish, you can. These are all things that you can do when you're drawing later on, okay? When you add color and more interest. I want to give you some freedom. I don't want to just do the whole drawing and then not have you give you any input or any of your own creativity, right? Because this is your drawing. I'm just giving you a lesson on. Okay, so let's make an ocean floor. Okay, now these fish look a little scared because there's a shark in the area, so let's make a little rock. Okay, and I'm going to come over, and now the rock's going to jump over and come over here like that. Maybe there's a little tiny cave over here they're trying to get into. All right, but little do they know, somebody already is in the cave, so 2 circles for the eye. Who knows who's in the cave? We don't know. That could be a mystery, a story that you're going to tell. Okay? Let's go ahead and put some wiggly lines for some seaweed. Now fish usually hang out by seaweed, so I'm going to make some really tiny little fish. So a little curved line, a little U, triangle. Curved line, a U, triangle. You can do as many as you want. Okay, so it's already looking like a pretty good little scene. I'm just going to have a few more tentacles there. All right, now we can do one more fish over here if we wanted to, but I don't really know that we need to. I mean, I have done it in other drawings, but I kind of like the way it looks right now. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the eyeballs in here in the mouth on the shark. So if he's looking at these guys like he's hungry, I could put both eyes kind of like right there. Now it looks like he's looking at those guys. Now I could go ahead and make a smiley face. All right, and then he looks like he's happy. Maybe he's looking to make a friend. Okay, but these guys are kind of scared, so they're kind of looking like in back of their head. They're kind of worried. Not too many sharks are their friends. And now, if I wanted to, I mean, you could. I mean, it's a cartoon. I could make a wiggly line like this and make a curved line. Looks like he has a tongue hanging out of his mouth like that. All right, sharks, I don't know that they have tongues. I don't think they do, but I put a tongue on there and then a little tiny little tooth. Again, but you can make your mouth any way you want to. You could do a pizza slice, a sideways pizza slice, and then you could put more teeth in there if you want to. Okay, that's entirely up to you. But I'm just going to keep that little curved line there and the tongue. I think it's kind of goofy. All right, so that works for me. Okay, next I'm just going to do some outlining really quick. Now when you outline with a marker, try not to make hatchy lines. Just make a smooth line. jump over it, make a smooth line. Smooth line. Don't worry if it's not perfect. Okay? It's okay. And now the eye. When I do my the black part of the eye, I like to leave a little white in there. So I'm gonna use my Sharpie to color in, but I'm gonna leave a little tiny white. I think it just makes them look alive a little bit more. Okay, the mouth. Maybe he's a dog shark. He looks like a dog. Okay, and now these lines are pretty thick and pretty hard. Now I'm going to make a broken line by just barely letting the tip, you can see how high I'm holding my marker. I'm just going to let it very lightly come across. If it's not perfectly straight, if it's broken a little bit, that's okay. But I just let the tip dance. And it's a broken line, and that's okay. I'm all right with that. I don't want it perfectly hard edge, because that's going to separate the two colors that I'm going to put in there. All right, let's do one of these guys and then one jelly. Okay, so I'm going to outline it. Leave that little white spot. Okay, I'm going to do a lateral line in him. Same thing, I'm going to, nice and light, but I'm going to hold it, and then this one I'm going to go up and down instead of horizontally. There we go. Just going across, nice and light. Maybe a couple more squigglies. Okay, and let's do one jelly. Okay, good. The ocean floor, because I just want to show you a technique with the ocean floor. And I'm going to do this seaweed. Okay, so this is what I was talking about in the beginning, is completely outline everything and color all your fish before you do your background. Okay, so, but I'm not going to do that because I want to finish in about 3 more minutes, so then you can continue working on coloring. It should probably take you about 45 minutes, almost a whole class time to finish this. All right, so here we go. Now I did an example the other day of one that is a little bit more realistic. Okay, I didn't do the big goofy eyes. I actually like this better than I like this, but if you like to do more realistic, you can do this. And again, you can go on Google and do that. You can see I've made some with square teeth. You can see the fish. I didn't color them in. All right, this is just an example. All right, this is another shark that I did. I actually added pointy teeth with eyelashes. Okay, and I mixed some green and yellow for the seaweed. Let's see what else I have there. Okay. Yeah, I've done this a bunch. So there we go. Let's do some coloring. So I'm gonna take my blue and I'm gonna work in a diagonal. So I'm gonna put a light coat of blue all the way across, going at a diagonal. Taking my time. Again, do not try to work as fast as me. Work at your speed. Okay, I went at a diagonal here. Now I'm going to go as horizontally this way. I want to keep my tooth white, so I'm going to jump over that, and I'm going to jump over my tongue and eye. So I went horizontally here, and I'm going to follow that lateral line right below it like that, and then just lightly like that. Okay, so now that all the shark has some basic color in, except for the fins. I'm going to make those a little bit different now. You can see the line is going this way, so I'm going to color that way. Line is going this way. I'm going to color it. If the shape is going that way, color in the direction of the shape. A lot of times that'll help you out, makes your artwork better. Now I'm going to put a second coat on the shark, making it a little bit darker. Still going at a diagonal, and I'm going to make the tip of my nose really dark. Okay, but again, not pushing hard. I don't want to see any lines there. I don't want any scribbling. Okay, trying to blend that in so it looks good using the edge of my crayon. Okay, underneath the eye. And then this is going to be dark, going at a diagonal. Now you see I'm leaving some of that white in there. All right, pretty happy with that, looks good. Now, because it's kind of a silly shark, I'm going to put some red in there. Now, when you do that tongue, leave a little bit of white in your tongue. It makes it look like it's a little bit wet and alive. So I put a light color in now on the edge and the bottom of the tongue. I'm going to put some dark red. It's light on the top, a little bit of white. There you go. So that's done. Now this little fish over here, I'm going to take my red again, and then I'm going to do these fins. Okay. And then I'm not worried about coloring all of it, because this is going to be a white and yellow fish. Okay, the fins and the eye. Now my blue is not sharp. I'm not worried about a sharp crayon. What I'm going to do is I'm turning my head, and I'm going to color that little bit. There we go. A little bit of blue in there, and then I'm going to use my yellow and add a little bit of yellow. Not a lot, just a little bit in there. I want to leave some white in there. Okay, and then my lateral line, I'm going to go up and down with some red. Maybe the top of the lateral line is going to be darker than the lower part. Don't need to just push your crayons hard the whole time. Work on changing your pressure to make your drawings more interesting. Now, for the bottom, I'm going to take my yellow and I'm going to use it flat like this, and I'm going to just push it across or pull it. When I do that, I always make sure I hold my paper so I'm not letting my paper get all wrinkled. And I basically just put in some nice yellow down there. I'm going to show you a quick tip before we get going. The next step is different variations to the push technique. So I have a little bit darker blue here. So if I push, all right, I get a nice wide band of color. But if I push gently, I don't get any lines in there. I'm trying to make it so I don't see any of these harsh lines there. I'm trying to make it all the same. So the other thing I can do too is if I push on one side of my crayon, it's dark on one side and light on the other. See how it's hard edge there? All right, do you see the difference in the three? Okay, so that's something you can practice and play around with. Another way to do it too is I'm going to show you a bigger crayon. If I take and I push and I turn my crayon as I go, push and turn, watch what happens. Can you guess? Makes a point. All right, let me flip my paper a little bit better. Okay, push and then turn. Makes a point at the top. That's a good, the faster you turn, the thinner it goes. So practice that. That's a good, on a scrap piece of paper, that's a good thing to know how to do. Okay, now if you want to blend crayons, okay, you push lightly and you're going to flip-flop back and forth from one to the other. You can almost get a real green. I mean, it takes a little work. You got to go slow, but you got to go back and forth. I mean, if you want it to look nice and even, I could start scribbling really hard over the top of it, but I'm not going to get that nice even layer of color. Now, you're working with wax, so if your paper has texture too, it's not going to be perfect, smooth. So texture is good. So you can see it's kind of getting green the more I work at it. I'm pushing a little bit harder as I go, building. All right, so that's how you blend crayons, lightly, slowly. Okay, now let's do our background. We're going to imagine that we colored everything. It's all done. We did all our outlining and everything is colored. The next step is taking that blue piece and then going across nice and wavy. And we don't want anything straight. Don't worry if you get some in your yellow, because that's okay. Just try to stay out of your whites. Now if you get to your shark and you get to your eye and you don't want any in your eye, jump over. I'm going to color my whole paper. I'm trying to make it wavy. If I have some white in there, that's okay. All right, that's one layer. Now this is where I'm going to push a little bit harder in one edge of my pastel than the other. I'm sorry, my crayon. I'm not using pastels. Okay. Now I'm going to do a couple turn strokes. Okay, and now I'm going to switch colors entirely. I'm going to grab that turquoise that I had, and I'm going to add a little bit of turquoise just to make a couple different blues in there. That'll help bring it alive and twist. Take and twist. Practice that twist stroke. Okay, I'm going to bring a little color there. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you have any questions or comments, you can contact me at the school. Show me your drawings, share, add more to it. If you decide you want to do your own scene, and feel free to do. I just want you to work with these colors though. I'd like to see we do this lesson with these 3 colors. Okay, I hope you're being safe and being helpful around the house, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. So take care for now and keep drawing. Take care. Bye-bye.